Shout out to Mr. Terrence Bud Crawford. That man went in and handled business tonight. Now, my previous video, the preview that I made for the fight, this is why I do not gamble, ladies and gentlemen, because if I gambled, I probably would have lost the house if I bet big on this fight. I predicted that Canelo Alvarez was the betting favorite to win for various reasons. I stated at the end of the video that I do think that Terrence Bud Crawford is the better fighter. However, I thought that factors such as the age difference, I mean, I know Canelo's had more fights, but the age difference, the fact that it's very easy to get old in that ring quickly, the fact that Terrence usually goes about a year between fights, the last 2-3 years, so there was ring rust there, and we're not going to mention the fact that this man jumped about 2, depending on how you want to look at it. I say 2. He jumped 2 weight classes to fight this guy Canelo. Now they're about the same height, but Canelo's been fighting at his weight class for a while, so I mean, this was a pretty risky jump. Now, we have to go over the statistic of the fact that this man, Terrence Crawford, now has done it 3 times. He's done it 3 times, and that I'm talking about, the man has been undisputed in the 4-belt era 3 different times, in three different weight classes, what I mean. 140, 147, we all know about that with Errol Spence, but he did it at 140 first, moved up, and this man basically, Canelo did all the hard work, became undisputed. Terrence didn't have to come with any super middleweight belts, and he took all of Canelo's super middleweight belts in one night, and he's become the 3rd man to become undisputed, or the 1st man to become undisputed 3 different classes. I mean, I don't think he's the GOAT. Terrence Crawford, I think he's the best fighter of this era, but I mean, this is the kind of stuff that honestly bolsters his case in that boxing world to get him to that next level of the Floyd Mayweathers, the Alis, the Roy Jones Jr.'s, the Sugar Ray Robinsons. I mean, those kind of upper echelon type guys. It's kind of undisputed now. He is the best of this generation, probably regardless of weight class. Usyk, those kind of guys are special as well. I think they're kind of that tier right behind him. Canelo, let me just say this. Canelo, I don't want to see any videos clowning Canelo about what he did tonight, because this is the problem with boxing. These guys will not make these fights if they think their career is going to be done if they lose a fight. Your career is not done. It's a learning experience. Obviously, it sucks. You do not play to lose. You don't fight to lose. But I mean, this is why guys like Devin Haney take so long to make these fights. Devin Haney's probably a bad example. He actually fought folks. Shakur Stevenson, for example. I think he's a high-level talent. That man is protecting that O. Definitely him, Tank Davis. There's a few other guys who are protecting that O to the death. They do not want to have a loss on their record. I get it. Marketing-wise, they're trying to keep it the perfect record going. But guys like this, Canelo, we have to give him credit. The man's fought a lot of folks. I mean, there's a few people he's probably still got to fight. Benavidez is one that we definitely want to see, but he did fight Crawford. Now, Crawford was jumping up 2 weight classes, so it's not like he's, taking a huge risk. But it is a risk because if he lost, which he did, it's a ding on his record. The fact that he lost to an older guy who jumped up multiple weight classes to fight him. Now, I liked his approach after the match, but I did not like Canelo's approach during the match. I thought he was way too respectful of what Terrence was bringing to the table. Terrence was manhandling him in the clinch in terms of he wasn't throwing him around, but for a guy who jumped up multiple weight classes, I knew Terrence was strong. He has that wrestling background. He was moving Canelo kind of however he wanted to in the clinch in those close quarter sections of the match. This boxing match, the thing that threw me off was I thought that Crawford was going to lose some of that speed moving up to 168. His speed, he lost a little bit of a step speed-wise. However, he was still very quick. He was quicker than Canelo. You could definitely see who had the faster hands, and Canelo doesn't have slow hands. Canelo was trying to throw bombs. I probably gave the match 8-4 to Crawford. Canelo had a few rounds, I think rounds for like 5. A few of those later rounds he got as well. But Crawford was, once he got to like round 7, 8, he knew he had it in the bag. I mean, he figured him out by round 4 for sure. You kind of saw a switch in the middle of round 1. He started to ramp it up. That was another reason that I thought Crawford was not going to be able to seal the deals, because Canelo's chin, as we saw, his chin is made of freaking diamond or something. I don't know what the hell he's eating or chewing over there in Guadalajara, Mexico. But homeboy's chin, I have not seen Canelo ever been get knocked out, really truly hurt. I've seen him wobble, but not hurt to the point where he looks like he's gonna get knocked out. But Bud Crawford, he definitely made him feel the heat on some of those punches. A lot of them had some good snap, and just let them know you're not just going to be walking in recklessly, because Canelo can throw bombs. He was trying to go to the body a lot. That was one of my predictions. I thought Canelo was definitely going to try and work the body, a lot of hook work. Bud Crawford, I mean, he was a headhunter tonight. Man was sniping the head. He stayed in the southpaw stance the entire fight, the whole fight. So he didn't even switch to that tradition. I can't remember one time where he switched traditional. He stayed southpaw the entire time, which is what I said before the fight. I was like, honestly, he looks better as a southpaw. I think in the traditional stance, he kind of gets hit a lot from what I've seen. But as a southpaw, he's way more clinical. And usually when he gets into that killer mode, he goes southpaw anyway. So that's one thing. This fight, I mean, watching it, I was watching Terrence. I was like, honestly, I hope that he retires after this fight and he doesn't try any more, crazy antics, because this is probably the best capstone you could have to his career. He's silenced a lot of haters, a lot of doubters. I remember for the Errol Spence fight, I did think that Terrence was going to win that fight. That's what I predicted back in the day. For this fight, I thought that Father Time caught up with him and that he was probably biting off a little more than he could chew. And that's just more of a respect to Canelo, because Canelo's not one of these, Joe Schmoes you're gonna get in the ring with, and walk him down and put him on his ass, have him staring at the lights. Excuse my French. But what Terrence Bud Crawford did tonight was he showed why he's the expert and why I'm just a guy with an opinion. And my prediction was definitely incorrect. This is why I do not gamble. I get some stuff right and I get some stuff wrong, and I don't have the kind of money to just be burning like that. We're doing all right, but we ain't doing that well to just be burning dollars. Okay. Shout out to Bud Crawford. Shout out to Canelo. We want to see more fights like this. It's a shame that we have to wait for homeboy from Saudi Arabia, Mr. Turki Al-Assad, or I'll see whatever his name. I gotta look it up just to remember. But the dude who's involved with all the WWE and all the TKO stuff as well. He's trying to start his own super boxing league, whatever it is. Shout out to him for at least making the match. But these guys, they got to get out of this, protecting the old mentality. Boxing, they need these kind of fights to happen when these guys are in their 20s. I think this fight would have been much more electric with Terrence Bud Crawford from 3 to 4 years ago, same as Canelo Alvarez. Would have been much more interesting to watch. It was still a good fight, but definitely much more of a high-stakes chess match. Definitely on the edge of my seat with this one, because Terrence Crawford's chin is not as good as Canelo's, and I was like, at any moment, if Canelo lands one of these bombs he's throwing, it could put Crawford out, because he did have that moment against Kavaloskis or whatever the Mean Machine, and we've seen him, against Gamboa get a little bit hurt, but I think Terrence has learned how to roll with the punches a little bit better. He's gotten a lot more defensively sound over the years, but he's still kind of, you see him drop his hands sometimes, baiting dudes, but Canelo, I'll tell you what, it was good to see him put his belts on the line for a big fight, a fight that was worth it. Everybody got to watch it. It was a good event overall. I did not like the Guatemalan cat and the cat from Canada. I forgot the names. Oh my gosh, it's gonna come back to me. I did not like that match so much. I was like, this was like Concussion City. I was like, what the hell? These dudes' heads is gonna be the size of Martin after Tommy Hitman Hearns was done with him. But the match after that with Fernando Vargas Jr.'s son and what's his name from Ireland, that was a good little match. I like that. That was a good fight. But overall, the card. Oh, shout out to Brandon Adams as well. He had a good little match on the prelims. But the whole card was decent. But Bud Crawford, he shot up the status. I already had him in high regard. I thought he was the best fighter of this era. Just that he didn't really get a chance to fight everybody. But he did fight enough names, and he's done enough on his resume to be in that conversation. This kind of solidified it. I was not agreeing with Max Kellerman on the broadcast saying, that this fight, kind of changes the whole landscape of everything if Bud loses. I didn't think so. I think Bud timed it on purpose like this because he's 37. He could always blame his age and say he got old in the ring. But I do think that this fight was a very interesting fight when it comes to legacy. Andre Ward did a great job calling the fight. Some of these guys on the broadcast team did a pretty good job as well, the pre-fight, post-fight. No, Netflix, we'll see if they can make more legitimate boxing events. This makes up for that piece of crap event, Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, where clearly dudes are taking dives and, not actually fighting, getting paid money under the table, so everybody gets home to their family. I get it, but if you're gonna have a match, have the match. Don't be doing all this punch pulling stuff. if you're already gonna win the match, that's one thing. But Mike did not go out there to compete that night. Mike went out there to go get that check. So if Netflix boxing is gonna look like this, it's a good future, good sign. This was definitely interesting. Shout out Bud Crawford, and once again, don't be mad at me, be mad at yourself.